What is your American dream?
My dream is for America to be the America that so many immigrants dream of, which is this place where no matter what your color is, your religion is, your gender, your sexual orientation, that you have an equitable chance at achieving your dream. My dream is for it to be that place, especially for our kids. And I think that my dream, which is linked to what I'm getting to do now, is to write books that help support our young people to make America fulfill that dream, of where they see themselves in these books and they feel seen and loved and supported in the books, because I think our country is only as good as our young people.
Everyone has a right to the American dream. Welcome, everybody. My name is Brad Bernstein. I'll sit like this, maybe. My head is getting cut off. Down, up, down, up. Oh, I have a better idea. Leave the camera right where it is. I have a great idea. Whoop, pop, pop. Hello, everybody. It is Tuesday, June 22nd, 2021. I am flying solo today. We have no Yo-Yo. We have no Vanessa. They are alive. They are well. I promise you all. Hopefully we'll have them back tomorrow. What is not well is this wire, this special tunnel that we have going to their places of where they may be in this world. That somebody cut it or something. So we've been having trouble for 2 days. We thought we had it, then we didn't have it, then we had it, then we didn't have it. And then finally I just said, let's just go without Yo-Yo and Vanessa today. I'll take care of everything. Tomorrow we'll have them back. We'll have fun. Today is going to be a big, big show just about immigration. But let me first say hello to the squad here. Hello, Marcia McCullough. Squad up. How are you, McDermott? Shirley, or I guess Shirley McDermott, saying hi, Brad, Yo-Yo, Vanessa, and everyone. I will let Vanessa and Yo-Yo, I'll let them know that you said hello. Jessica Levy, how are you? Dawn Harriet, Carol Anderson, the Tiger. Squad up, everybody. Share and like this show. Yes, even if I'm solo, share it anyway. Yes, because I'm going to be answering your immigration questions very shortly. Therese Slater saying, good evening, everybody. Mavo Tom, how are you? Trace Haynes. Pretty Chef Ferreira with a trifling question. I'm very sorry to see this, Pretty Chef. She is asking, she says, hey, Brad, what can I do? My husband is threatening to call ICE if I don't give him money. Well, if he is a resident or a citizen, you file a VAWA because that is financial abuse. And financial abuse is a form of extreme emotional abuse in many situations. I'm sure there's a lot more to your story than just threatening if to call ICE. Number two, if you haven't committed a crime, these days, if husband's calling ICE, most likely they're not coming anyway because you're not a priority. But what I would suggest that you do is perhaps if it's getting to this level, get an order of protection against him, move out, tell him to do whatever the heck he wants, and then give me a call and we'll see how we're going to help you and protect you at the same time. But you have options, Pretty Chef. You definitely have options. Dip Fab, Cake Affairs, how are you? Squad up, Carol Anderson, the Tiger. Squad up, Naked Wire. Also, I'm just going to do the social media questions as I see them right now, I guess. Hi, Brad. I filed an N-400 April 15th, 2020. Till now, I only did fingerprints. Do I need to take any action? Well, you're now about 14, 15 months into this, Naked. And, you know, they're leaving you out naked out there to dry, Naked Wire. So at some point, yeah, you got to start taking some action. It's now 15, 16 months you took a fingerprint and nothing else, at some point you have to start thinking mandamus. Maybe you want to give them through the summer. Maybe you want to do it now. But at some point, unless you have something in your past that is skeletorial in nature, people who watch my show know what skeletorial means. It means you have some skeletons in your closet. If you got some skeletons, then that's a different story. But assuming you got a straightforward case, at some point, Naked Wire, you got to start thinking mandamus, and you should give us a call. Melanie Abiola Aline, also on Facebook. Hey, squad up my loves. Uncle Brad, Yo-Yo and Vanessa. Melanie Abiola Aline, I will let Yo-Yo and Vanessa know you're sending your love. She's on her way home from work. I hope you're not driving. Hopefully you're just in a taxi or on a bus or on a train. Hopefully you're not watching me and driving at the same time, because then you may need Moshe, the bulldozer, or a personal injury lawyer. I don't want you to get hurt. Rajib Barday, waiting 4.8 months for a U visa. That's not a long time, 4.8 months, unless you're talking about 4 years and 8 months. Then at that point, good for you that Biden has just changed the law that now they're going to start giving bona fide determinations on U visas. And if they do that, then you will be able to get your work permit at least and get a deferred enforced departure. So you'd be in a similar position to the DACA recipients. Let's wait for those regulations to come in. Hopefully it will be shortly. And when it does, you pounce on it. You take care of that deferred enforced departure determination, and you give us a call. Marcia McCullough, squad up. Yolanda Steele, squad up. How are you? Rog J. Roberts. Thanks, Rog J. Really appreciate it. Mr. Positive, Rog J. Roberts, with a pre-comment of the day. The show is now going to lose ratings for today's viewers because there's no Yo-Yo and there's no Vanessa. Damn, Rog J. Damn you. I'm only kidding. Daphne Hudson. Hi, Brad. Can I file for my daughter as a resident? I got my green card just 1 year. Absolutely, as long as she is not married. Jose Ernesto Cajita Hernandez. How many months do I need to wait if my I-130 is not approved? It's been 11 months, but nothing happened yet. Hope you can help me out, or should I wait or sue them? Now, you're not going to sue them yet, but I like your aggressive attitude. I also don't know who's sponsoring you. But generally speaking, on an immediate relative petition, if you haven't heard anything after 12 months, now maybe mandamus. But I like your aggressiveness. I got to find out a little bit more. But yeah, perhaps a mandamus at some point. Mavo Tom, we see you watching. How are you? Sydney Pizza is in the house. Marlon Ferran. What are the options for someone who wouldn't enter the United States on a work visa? What are the options for someone who did enter the United States on a work visa, did not return home? Can they get a green card due to marriage? In a bona fide marriage to a U.S. citizen? Absolutely. Joan Ampicious Powell, squad up. Stargirl, how are you? I see ya. Yolanda Steele, we see you watching as well. And it hits. Is that her name? It's Alexandra. It's Alexandra with a question. Can I file for my parents to live in the USA while I'm PC to Germany? I guess you're in the Army? Absolutely. If you're a U.S. citizen, you can. And Melanie Abiola Aline, I really appreciate it. The anti-Rog J. Roberts. Melanie Aline, anti-Rog J. Roberts says, we will keep you company, Uncle Brad. Clap, clap, clap. Thank you very much. Let's see what's going on YouTube. Asila Enot, squad up. David Bercelli, what's happened with the stream yesterday? The same thing that happened today. Somebody went snip, snip, snip. So we need, we need to get like some tape and kind of wire it back. But we need better tape than that. Kimberlyn Burris, squad up. How are you? Kavar Harris, squad up. I'm on vacation in Mexico. Kavar Harris on vacation and still watching Brad Show live in Mexico. The best show ever. I should have saved that for comment of the day, but that was such a great comment. It's pre-comment of the day. Leslie Benoit said, hello, Tolly, welcome everybody. Tolly is our biggest cheerleader on YouTube, always telling everybody to please hit that gray thumb. The video and makes the gray thumb, I'm reading her thing wrong. YouTube, please hit the gray thumb under the video, make it blue. We appreciate you, thumbs up. Thank you very much, Tolly. Miloslav Minkoff, also a great squatty, back in the house. And CE user with a question. I applied for a United States passport, and I got it, but the State Department still has not returned my USCIS documents. Is there something that could be done? You can have to get in touch with them. They have them, and I am sure that they will return it shortly. Sometimes they get returned a couple of weeks later. So, for example, I just renewed my passport and they needed an original document, and then they sent me back my old passport with the original document, but it was about 21 days later that I got it. So wait 2 or 3 weeks or a month, but then I guess you would have to contact them somehow. All right. With that being said, let's go through today's show. Don't forget, by the way, before we start schmoozing, I'm going to do the headline news. I'm going to schmooze with you guys. You guys are going to keep me company. Then I'm going to answer all your immigration questions. So if you call right now, 1-800-529-5465. We do have some open lines. I will be answering your immigration questions. You'll get a chance to give me a call. I'm going to go back to social media. I'm going to do my own social media check-in. Just Uncle Brad's social media check-in today. And then we will get to our comments of the day. We're going to have a shortened show because Uncle Brad could only talk for so long without taking a breath. With that, let's get into some schmoozing with Brad. With me. So, the big news today is the voting rights bill that the Democrats are trying to push through Congress. And let me tell you why. I'm going to come back and tell you why that's important for immigration. But let's talk about what's going on with this voting rights bill, because it's important for immigration. For everybody who wants to see immigration reform, what happens in this voting rights bill is going to determine what happens with immigration. You heard it here first. Now let's talk about what this voting rights bill is. The rules and procedures of elections, they become central issues in American politics since Donald Trump has made these false claims that Joe Biden lost the election and Donald Trump won the election, that this election was stolen from him, that people were illegally voting, blah, blah, blah. Now, according to the Brennan Center for Justice Research Institute, as of May 14th, lawmakers had passed 22 new laws in 14 states to make the laws more difficult to vote than less difficult to vote. Why? Because those states are Republican-controlled states, and they want less people to vote. The less people to vote, the more likely it is for Republicans to control politics. The more people to vote, the less likely it is for Republicans to win. Why? Because who votes Republicans? People who skew rich, people who skew white. Those people are more likely to live in affluent areas. They're more likely to have easier access to a ballot, less waiting online. They're probably able to take off from work when others can't. They probably have identification because they've lived in one place for long periods of time versus people who are less affluent. They're moving from place to place to place. They lost their IDs. They lost this. They never updated their identification. All sorts of reasons. They can't take off from work. They're not given that energy to take off from work. They're scared of COVID because waiting on lines in crowded voting places versus people living in the suburbs where things are a lot more open and less crowded. So there's lots of reasons to make people go wait on a line and vote and require specific documentation and not give them time off from work. At least if you're a Republican, because if you're a Republican, that disenfranchises people. Period. It's a fact. So Republicans in 14 states, just since Trump lost, have made 22 new laws to make it more difficult for people to vote. So the Democrats, they're not dummies. They see what's going on. So now they want to pass a voting rights bill. Okay? And this voting rights bill will, among other things, what is it going to do? It's going to allow people to vote early, 15 days before the election. It's going to make the election a national holiday, so that way people can take off from work. And it will allow for absentee ballots, which is what Donald Trump has rallied against. Now, it's already passed the House of Representatives. In order to pass the Senate, you need 60 votes. You need 60 votes to pass anything in the Senate. It's called the filibuster. The filibuster, you require 60 votes in the Senate to allow debate to come to a final vote. If you cannot get 60 votes in the Senate, this is the procedure. If you cannot get 60 votes in the Senate, you cannot end debate, and you can never get to a final vote to vote up or down on a specific bill. Now, there are 50 Democrats, 50 Republicans, which means you need 10 Republicans to pass anything in the Senate, except if you end what's called the filibuster, that requirement to get 60. Now, in the last few weeks, there have been a few senators, the most notable, Joe Manchin, who is a Democrat in West Virginia, who says, I'm not getting rid of the filibuster. No freaking way. It's very important. We want 60 senators. We want to have bipartisan support. Well, that's not going to happen. It's not going to happen on this voting rights bill. So now Manchin didn't like the bill that came out of the House. He thought it was too progressive, but he made some changes, but kept the meat and potatoes of the bill in place to allow voting access to as many Americans who have the right to vote equally. Their vote counts just as much as anybody else. He is going to vote in favor of the voting rights bill. It's going to not pass the Senate today. It's going to be 50 yes, 50 no. But remember, you need 60 to get rid of the filibuster. But this is going to happen with the voting rights bill. This is what's going to happen with the infrastructure bill. This is what's going to happen with any future bill about the environment. And this is what's going to happen with immigration reform. All of these bills are going to get stuck in the Senate because they're not going to find 10 Republicans to vote for it. Why? Because the Republicans see a 2022 election that they can say, look what Joe Biden did. He did nothing. Passed nothing. It's more of the same with Joe Biden. A lot of BS. He didn't pass anything. He didn't do anything. He's a terrible president. Therefore, vote Republican. That's their election strategy. On top of that, everything that Biden does is radical and crazy and is, what's the word they use? Is just radical and crazy. I forgot. They have a specific word they use, which I forgot. Point is, progressive, but that wasn't the word. But thank you, Joe. But the point is, they are trying to gridlock the Senate to pass nothing to show that Joe Biden did nothing, which is really the Republicans gridlocking it. So now that Manchin has decided to vote 50-50, the Democrats have a decision to make. And that decision to make is, as a group of 50, because Kamala Harris is the 51st vote, they can vote to end the filibuster. Say, we are not going to require filibusters anymore in the Senate. We're going to change the procedure. If they decide to do that, they will be able to pass this Voting Rights Act bill because they already have the 50 votes. They will then be able to pass infrastructure. They have the 50 votes. They will be able to pass environmental law changes because they have 50 votes to clean up our air and clean up our water. And most importantly, for the people who are watching our squad, they will be able to pass immigration reform. All because there is no more filibuster. Now, the downside is, well, now you changed the rules and you did this, and you passed all of these new bills and new laws. And what happens if the Democrats lose? Now the Republicans, the Democrats don't have the benefit of a filibuster, and the Republicans can pass whatever they want. And I say to the Democrats, this is what I say: if you believe in your policy, you believe you have the better policy than the Republicans, then get rid of the filibuster, pass the Voting Rights Act, pass the Infrastructure Act, pass environmental changes that you want for our environment, and most importantly, pass immigration reform. And let your constituents, most people are all in favor of this, and let your constituents and let the American people vote in 2022 whether they like your policy or not. But I can assure you, Democrats, that if you do nothing, and the Republicans are going to say, more gridlock, more nothing, you did nothing, you're going to lose. So if you really believe in your policy, then you got to end the filibuster and pass these bills. So it's important because they were able to get to 50 votes on this Voting Act. Because if you weren't able to get to 50 votes on the Voting Act, you can't pass the filibuster to break the filibuster for this. So we'll see what happens if they do it. If they do it, then that opens up the possibility of infrastructure, environment, and immigration reform, hopefully before the end of the year. We'll see what happens. In good news, I have some news on the job market. And the job market is that the top lawyers from the Trump administration can't find a job. According to a list compiled by Bloomberg Law, more than 80% of the lawyers who worked for Donald Trump in the Trump administration can't get hired by anybody. Now, nobody has actually made an application to Spar and Bernstein, but I can tell you, Trump lawyers, don't bother. You're not getting hired here either. Now, some of them, including former Attorney General Jeffrey Rosen and former Trade Representative Robert Lightser, are also without jobs. Lauren Drake, a partner at a search firm called McRae, told Bloomberg News that the lawyers who seem to be finding it more difficult to find jobs are those who are either connected to Trump's most controversial policies or lacking any experience. Ken Cuccinelli, the Deputy Secretary of Homeland Security, who became the acting Director of Homeland Security, who put a lot of these radical immigration reforms into place that really caused a lot of problems for immigrants. Poor guy, can't find a job. Boo-hoo. Former Attorney General William Barr, Porky, one of the most powerful attorney in the United States under Donald Trump. 7 months later, nobody wants to hire him either. Boo-hoo. Matt Schlapp, the chairman of the American Conservative Union, who's raked in millions lobbying the Trump White House, told the Washington Post, "If I had $1 for every time someone in Washington said to me, hey, I'm really looking to hire someone for X job, but they can't have worked for the Trump administration, I'd have a very large sum of money." So the epilogue to that entire story is It is really true what they say. Karma is a bitch. All right, let's go to coronavirus. The United States has more than 33.5 million confirmed cases, 602,000 deaths. But we have some good news with COVID. It is the first time since they've been keeping track since March of 2020 that the number of deaths in the United States has dipped below 300 people. Yesterday, we reached also an encouraging milestone. 150 million Americans are fully vaccinated. The coronavirus was the third leading cause of death in the United States in 2020 behind heart disease and cancer. The CDC data suggests that more Americans are dying now every day from accidents, chronic lower respiratory diseases, strokes, Alzheimer's disease, and then COVID. So COVID is almost down to the bottom 10 of the list. New cases are running about 11,000 a day on average. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo tweeted yesterday that in the state of New York, only 10 deaths. At the height of the outbreak, it was 800 people per day in New York. It is now 10. Now, some states are not doing as good as others. Missouri is leading the nation in per capita COVID cases. It's fourth behind California, Florida, and Texas in the number of new cases over the past week. The Biden administration, they wanted to get to 70% of all adult Americans. The best they're going to do is 70% of adult Americans over the age of 30. It's the 18 to 30-year-olds who are bringing the average down. They are not getting as many COVID shots as 30 and above. But certainly by July 4th, 70% of Americans over the age of 30 will have been vaccinated. But those millennials, those damn millennials between 18 and 30, they're bringing the average down. They may not make it because of that. We'll see what happens. And finally, Anthony Fauci, he's fighting back finally on all the people who said he's a flip-flopper, that he said, wear a mask, don't wear a mask, wear a mask. And everybody said he was basically not telling the Americans the truth. He knew all along masks didn't work, then he knew masks did work, then knew masks didn't work. So he told interviewer Kara Swisher on the podcast Sway, this is what he says when people say, well, you're a flip-flopper. He says, it's essential as a scientist that you evolve your opinion and your recommendations based on the data as it evolves. And that's the reason I say people who then criticize me about that are actually criticizing science. The people who are giving the ad homins are saying, Fauci misled us. First he said no masks, then he said masks. Well, let me give you a flash. That's the way science works. You work with the data you have at the time. That is the nature of science. It's a self-correcting process. So for all of those people who said mask, no mask, mask, no mask, the answer is science learns. They once said the world was flat, and science learned it was round. They learn a lot of new things every day. So that's what Anthony Fauci is saying. All right, with that, that is the end of our schmooze for today. There will be no tea. The butler is out fixing the wires. But we're going to get to, you got a question, I got an answer. We're going to answer your immigration questions right now. Call us 1-800-529-5465. And you've got a question, I've got an answer. There we go. All right, let's go to Zaid in Bakersfield, California. Zaid.
Yes, Mr. Roth. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good, good. Hey, I'm calling. I have a question.
Go ahead.
So, I came to USA in visa visitor in 2014,
One second. You came to the United States on a visa restaurant?
Visa visitor.
Oh, visitor's visa. Okay. Okay, I understand.
Yes.
Go ahead. Where are you from?
And
where are you from, Zaid?
Jordan.
Jordan. Okay. And
I was in removal proceeding on 2015.
Okay.
And I got married in 2016. I have the approval for the I-130.
Okay.
I got the approval for the I-130, and I did the interview for the 485, which is like 3 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And they can't take decision in my case because I'm in removal proceeding.
Okay, correct. I'm listening to you. I'm just saying. I assume we're on Facebook because my Facebook went down, but I assume we're on Facebook.
And with coronavirus, they keep rescheduling my court hearing dates.
All right. So you have an I-130 approved.
Yes.
Okay. When was the last time you were in court? This is out in California?
Yeah, in California in 2020.
Okay. So what you need to do is your lawyer or whoever's representing you needs to make a motion to recalendar your master calendar to an earlier date. Let the judge know that your I-130 has been approved based on proving that you are in a bona fide marriage beyond a doubt, and you'd like to reschedule an earlier master calendar so either the judge can do one of two things, either terminate the proceedings and let immigration complete your adjustment, or the judge can schedule you for a final individual hearing for the adjustment. That's what you need to do at this point.
Okay, my lawyer, whatever he did, he filed the motion with the government lawyer, and he filed the motion with the immigration judge.
Well,
and I'm just wondering how long that will take.
I don't know what your lawyer did or who the judge is. Every judge has their own calendar, and every judge moves their own speed. So, unfortunately, that is the process. You make the motion to recalendar, and hopefully the judge responds to that sooner rather than later. But do I have an answer for you when you're going to hear? I don't have an answer for you when you're going to hear.
Okay. All right. I thank you so much.
You're very welcome. But you're on the right track. And if your lawyer is making the motion to recalendar, that's what needs to happen now.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
Let's go to Sharika in Hartford. Sharika.
Hi, Brad.
Sharika. How are you?
I'm good.
What's going on?
Quick question. My biometric. I just get a letter for my biometric for adjustment of status, and my passport is expired. Is going to be a problem?
Well, you have a passport, an expired passport. You can go and take your biometrics with your expired passport. It's not a problem, but you should get a new passport for your interview.
Yes, I just found my passport expired last month.
Yeah, that's
on
fine.
My birthday.
It's only a month old. It's fine. And and bring proof that you've made an application for a new one.
Okay.
Okay.
Can I bring my if I have my Jamaican license? Can I bring that too?
Your Jamaican license won't count. Just your Jamaican license doesn't count. Just the passport.
Okay, so just bring the passport.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Good luck. Let's go to Veronica in Cincinnati.
Yes. Hello.
Hi, Veronica.
Hi. This is Veronica. I have a question.
Yes. Somebody just said "ow" in the background. I hope they're okay.
Yes, it was my kid. I came here as an F1 student, and then I applied for asylum after, I was supposed to be going back to school, but I did not. So I applied for asylum, was rejected, denied, and then after that, I didn't know that I was on final order of deportation. It's when I went for my interview for my I-30, that's when ICE came in. And since then, I've been in order of deportation, of supervision.
All right. So what happened, based on what you're telling me, is you applied for asylum, your case was denied, you got put in removal, you were never given notice of your removal date, so you had no idea that you were ordered deported, and then you got married, I assume, that's the I-130. You went in for your interview, and you found out you're deported, they came and arrested you, you got bonded out or released, and now you're on supervised release.
No, I was not arrested. They just, after my interview, they came and told me that about my deportation.
You need to make a motion to reopen your removal case.
So I did that. Yes, I did that twice by being denied twice, saying that because of the timeline was already, like when they gave me the final order. You told me,
one second, Veronica, you just told me you had no idea you were ordered deported, right?
Like I didn't. Like I did not understand.
If you didn't know you were ordered deported, that means they never gave you any notice of it.
because I had the lawyers. I guess they did because
they
they said they gave me
notice.
9.
Okay, so
Yeah,
if
they gave me 90 days.
If they gave you notice, then at that point, then maybe it's your lawyer's fault for not advising you what your responsibilities are if you're in removal. I don't know what was done. You certainly don't know what's done. You're not even describing what's happening very well. But you need to make a motion to reopen. You did it. You didn't do it right. Now,
I did it.
One second. Now you have two choices. Okay, you can file a matter of lazada motion against all of your lawyers for ineffective assistance of counsel if they did not counsel you properly as a way to make a motion to reopen. You can file a joint application, show good reason why you should have your case reopened based on humanitarian reasons, and let the trial attorneys join you. You can also file a motion for prosecutorial discretion, at least get before a judge, and then try to adjust your status that way too. You're allowed only one motion, but there's still maybe some ways to go around it. So hold on one second. I would need to review all your records. All right. Let's go to Mohammed in Chicago. Mohammed.
Hi, Brad. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Yeah, I have 3 questions.
Yes.
My first question is, how long can a green card holder with a 10-year green card stay abroad?
No more than 6 months at a time.
Okay. And my second question is, how long can a conditional green card holder with a 2-year green card stay abroad?
No more than 120 days at a time.
No more than how many?
120 days.
120 days. And what about, are there separate lines at U.S. airports for permanent residents?
Then U.S. citizens?
No, I'm a permanent resident.
I believe so. When I come into JFK Airport, it says U.S. citizens to the left, residents in the middle, visa holders to the right. They have different lines for everybody.
Okay. That's all my 3 questions.
Right.
Thank you, Brad.
You're in Chicago. I haven't been through O'Hare, but every airport's different. All right?
Okay.
Okay. Let's go to Ernesto in San Diego.
Hello?
Hi, Ernesto.
Hey, okay. So I'm the one who was typing on the comments. So my A130 is taking almost 11 months. At this point, since I am on removal proceedings, I just want to know how long I need to wait to sue them.
You're in removal. Have you been ordered deported?
No.
Okay.
Yet I'm still in court.
All right. So did you make a bona fide marriage exemption?
Yes, we did. We submitted that.
When's your next master calendar?
It's on December 30th of this year, 2021.
All right. So I assume you're going to get a hearing before then. You can file an adjustment so you can get your work permit. Is that what your issue is?
No, since I don't have any legal entry, so I have to go back to my consular process to my country.
I understand. So you just want to finish this up.
I just want to go ahead with the next
even if you
step.
do a mandamus, you still got to wait till December anyway. So what I would suggest is wait it out a few more months. If you still haven't heard anything by October or November, give me a call and we can talk about what we can do.
All right.
All
Awesome.
right?
Thank you very
Okay.
much.
All right. Good luck. Let's go to Orit in Cincinnati.
Hello, Brad.
Hi, how are you?
Good, good. I have a question for you.
Go ahead.
I lost my green card, and I want to apply for naturalization. And when I apply for naturalization, it's asking me to provide evidence of my green card. I have a copy. I kept a copy.
That's fine. A copy is fine, and you can tell them you lost it. It's perfectly fine.
Oh, I can provide a copy.
Provide a copy, and when you show up to your interview, just bring your passport. I lost my green card. I don't know where it is. It's fine.
Oh, my passport is expired.
Then renew your passport for sure, so you have a photo ID when you go for your citizenship.
Okay.
All right, and then file your citizenship now with the copy of your green card. It's fine.
Okay.
All right. All right.
Okay,
Good luck.
thank you.
Let's go to Cassandra in the Bronx. Cassandra.
Hello,
Hi.
Uncle Brad.
How you doing?
Not bad. Quick question. My daughter is filing for me. I'm in the U.S. on a visitor's visa. My daughter is filing for me. The I-130 have been approved. My visa is going to be expired next month, but I'm in the U.S. now. Wanted to go to Jamaica for certain business. Is it possible for me to go down on the filing?
How long have you been in the United States?
I've been here about 2 months now.
And you said your mother filed for you?
My daughter.
Your daughter filed for you. You have a green card? What do you have right now?
No, I have a visitor visa.
Okay, so your daughter filed an I-130. You're here on a visitor's visa.
Yeah.
How emergent is it that you need to leave now?
Because I have some family issues down there that I have to take care of.
Well, I mean, you could leave and just wait for your green card back home. It'll take about another year. Or you can stay here another 30 days, file your adjustment, and you get a travel document in about another 4 or 5 months. So you'd be here about another 6 months probably before you can travel.
No, what I'm saying, Uncle Brad, the I-130 I've been approved, but I don't get anything. Is there, I supposed to get a card or something for that?
No. You have an I-130 approval. The approval is supposed to be transferred to the National Visa Center. Your daughter has to do affidavits of support and everything else for you to pick up your green card in Jamaica. If you want to get your green card in America, you have to wait here at least 90 days and then file an adjustment. And as part of the adjustment, apply for a travel document. But as I said, that travel document probably won't be issued for at least another half of a year. So if you want to be able to get your green card here in the United States, you wait another 30 days, you file an adjustment, but you won't be able to travel for about 6 months or so. Alternatively, you can go home, do not travel back here on your visitor's visa, wait home, let your daughter process you at the National Visa Center, and you'll be back here in about a year.
Okay, so that will take like another year to complete.
If your I-130 is approved, yeah, because they're so backed up in Jamaica.
Okay.
My advice is stay, but if it's an emergency, go.
Okay.
All right?
And that would take, you said, like a year to complete, okay?
Yep. Probably, maybe more. I can't guarantee the exact time, but I'm taking a guess.
Okay, thanks much.
You're welcome. Let's go to Monique in Uniondale.
Hi, Brad.
Hi, how are you?
I'm all right. I have a question. So my husband is a U.S. citizen. He filed for me and my daughter, my daughter is his stepdaughter, right?
Right.
We came up to America here after my second year anniversary. I received a 10-year green card, but my daughter got a conditional green card. I went ahead and filed the I-90 and
the I-751.
No, I did
well,
the I-90.
Let me ask you, you and your daughter came the same time?
Yeah.
Okay, let me ask you a question. When you and your daughter entered the United States, were you married for more than 2 years?
Yes.
Okay, yes, so the I-90 is the proper thing to do.
Right, so I did that and returned a green card, right? We did a biometrics today. Right. But the person that did the biometrics was saying to us that there's no need to do the I-90 because she's supposed to get a conditional green card. She's not supposed to get the same status that I got, which is a 10-year.
That's true. They don't know what the hell they're talking about. If your daughter entered the United States more than 2 years after your marriage to your husband, she gets a 10-year card.
Okay, so I think they made an error.
Yeah, you're doing everything properly.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay.
Bye.
Let's go to Mavalette in South Portland, Maine.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well. So I had posted a question in the comment section before now.
Okay.
It's my husband. He has been threatening to call ICE.
Me. Is this this is Beautiful Chef?
Yes.
Right? What do you call yourself?
Yes, sir.
You're Beautiful Chef? Not Beautiful Chef.
Yes, Pretty Chef.
A Pretty Chef,
yes.
Right. Okay, all right.
Yes.
So let me ask you a question. Is he a resident? Is he a citizen? What is he?
He is a citizen here.
Okay, so it's financial abuse. That's extreme emotional abuse. In many, it depends on how often it's happening, but that's a form of emotional abuse. So
what can I do going forward?
What I would do is have have a consultation with me. In all honesty, have a consultation with me, and
Okay.
if in fact, after talking about it with you at greater length, that we determine there is extreme emotional abuse, I would file a VAWA case. Tell your husband, flip him off, don't touch physically, but just say screw you, and move on and move out.
I already did that.
Fine.
I packed my things and moved out.
So then you're filing a VAWA case.
So should I go ahead and divorce him or just wait?
The most important thing that you want to do is file a VAWA case as quickly as possible. The divorce is not relevant to you at the moment, other than you want the guy out of your life, obviously. But what's most relevant to you at the moment is get a VAWA adjustment filed. And then once that's filed, your husband can call immigration till the cows come home. They're not coming for you.
Okay.
All right. Hold on 1 second.
All right. Thanks.
All right. Sandeep in Tampa.
Hi, Brad. This is Sandeep.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. What's going on?
So I'm in a very complicated situation at this point of time.
Okay.
I got married to my wife back in 2020, last May, and she was pregnant by that time, and she started cheating on me, and eventually when I confronted her, she punched me in the face and left me bleeding, and she was also arrested for that.
So I'm sorry you went through that, but that's okay. That's a straightforward VAWA case.
Yeah, I couldn't do it last year because I'm going through so much financial problems because she also ruined my finances as well.
But you can. There's free legal services. You don't always have to hire a paid lawyer. You can certainly, if you can come up with the filing fee, file your adjustment. You're going to get all sorts of government benefits.
I have already hired a lawyer like last month, and he has already taken all my documents, and probably he's gonna file it by the end of this month.
Okay.
So, what do you think? What are the chances that I will be able to get
based on what you told me, I think you're going to get a prima facie determination. As long as your lawyer does everything right, you'll get a prima facie determination to allow you to get government benefits. You're going to get your work permit. You get a travel document. And my expectation is that you'll get your green card. If a woman punches you in the face and gets arrested, that's a straightforward VAWA case. She's your wife.
Even the court also has had a no contact order for her.
That's even better.
And I guess tomorrow is her first divorce hearing. And I moved out.
Get rid of her. You don't need to be married to her, and you don't need to be married to her to do a VAWA case. The one thing with VAWA cases you have to file it within 2 years of a divorce, and you're not even divorced yet, so it's fine.
Right. And one more thing is a little bit concerning for me is that we have a child together, and she didn't let me see my child. I don't know when. I know when he was born, but I was.
Well, okay, that's something that you have to do through the local family court or the divorce court that you're going through. Okay, that's not. I'm not an expert, and not an expert in child visitation in Florida where you are, but certainly the child has a right to see you, and you maybe even have a right to not only see the child, but you may have the right to have joint custody of the child, and you may even have the right to have the child live with you if it's in the child's best interests. But that's for a local family court to decide, or a local divorce court to decide. As far as your immigration is concerned, you have a child together, your wife got arrested, it's open and closed. Unless your lawyer is a complete moron, you will get a green card.
Right. Okay. Well, that eases my anxiety a lot.
All right.
Thank you very much, sir.
You're very welcome.
Have
Good
a good
luck.
day.
Okay. Michael in Phoenix.
Hi, Brad.
Hi, how are you?
Doing good. So, Brad, I have a quick question. So if you have a misrepresentation charge,
right,
can you have a H-1 extension approved?
No. That's inadmissibility.
How about I-140?
That's inadmissibility. You would need waivers for all of that.
But my situation is that
Well, let me ask you a question.
not-
What do you mean by misrepresentation charge? Is that immigration's going to charge you as having made a misrepresentation? You got criminally arrested for some fraud? What is it that you're talking about?
No, that's not it.
Okay.
It's very unclear at this point. I'm on H-1B and I went to the consular processing to switch to F visa, and somehow I think I might have caught a misrepresentation charge. I'm not sure, but following what you're saying, I've had my H-1 extension following that incident approved, and an I-140 also approved.
So maybe you don't have an No, the I-140 would get approved. It's your adjustment that would get denied. The H-1B, the H-1B shouldn't be, but maybe they don't know about any misrepresentation. I have no idea. Or maybe there was no misrepresentation. The H-1B extension, if you have a misrepresentation, should not be approved. An I-140 has nothing to do with misrepresentation, but your adjustment, again, you have a misrepresentation issue, you got a misrepresentation issue.
So how do one find out without, because I don't want to go to immigration.
You speak to a good lawyer, you tell the lawyer exactly what happened, and it's for the lawyer to determine whether you made a misrepresentation that had a material. It's not a misrepresentation that bars you, by the way. It is a material misrepresentation. They use the word material because that word means something, which means that whatever you said to get your student visa has an impact on the ultimate decision of whether or not you are eligible for it or not. So for example, okay, if they ask you came on an H-1B visa to go work for company A, and it appears you've been working for company B all these years, and now you're back for a student visa, you misrepresented who you were going to work for. Well, yeah, that's material to determine whether or not you were eligible for the H-1B in the first place. Or maybe you were working in a different job than you claimed. That's material. If the officer says, well, let me ask you a question. What color is your shirt? You say it's yellow and it's green. And he says, oh, you're lying to me. You got a green shirt, not a yellow shirt. It has nothing to do with your case. So it has to do with what's material and what's not. So that's for a lawyer to make a legal determination. Okay? And then we go from there. Okay? There's nobody to call at the U.S. Embassy to say, hey, Joey, what do you got there? Misrepresentation? There's nobody there. So you got to come clean with a lawyer in a private conversation, tell them what happened, and then we got to figure out how to fix it. Hold on. Let's go to Mohammed in Manassas, Virginia.
Hi, Uncle Brad. How are you?
How are you?
Good. I have a question. I came with my family in 2016 on a visitor visa, B1, B2. Dad applied for asylum before the status expired, and it's been about 5-6 years. It's pending right now, and we have a sponsor willing to sponsor either one of my parents, either my dad or my mom. So can we go that route?
As long as you filed the asylum before your B2 expired, you absolutely can get sponsored in a job, and you can do your final adjustment here. And then once you file the adjustment, you can withdraw the asylum case. Absolutely.
Thank you so much. That was the question.
Okay. Let's go to Sandeep in San Diego. Is this the same Sandeep I spoke to before, or a different Sandeep?
Hi, Brad. No, I'm a different Sandeep.
Different Sandeep. How are you?
I'm good, and my case is also the VAWA case.
Okay.
And I filed the VAWA.
A lot of Sandeeps with VAWAs today. That's strange. Okay.
I filed the VAWA recently, 1 week ago. I'm waiting for my receipt notice.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to know that regarding divorce, so that my lawyer suggests that I'm eligible for summary dissolution. Does the divorce have to mention about some kind of domestic violence, and it is immaterial?
No, has not. No, you can get divorced for any number of reasons. Whatever's mentioned in your divorce is not going to impact your VAWA case. Your VAWA case is independent. What's the evidence? Whatever you say why you're getting divorced, you could be irreconcilable differences. It's fine.
Okay. One more question is that there is statute of limitation of 2 years. So I already filed the VAWA.
You're fine.
But But given the timeline of it takes 2 to 3 years, so does adjustment of status also has to be filed before 2 years of divorce?
No, just the I-360.
Okay, thank you, Brian.
But if you have an I-360 and not an adjustment filed, I would file the adjustment too.
Okay, thank you.
Everyone who has a VAWA should file an adjustment. That's my opinion.
Okay, thanks. Thank you, Brian. Thanks. Bye.
All right. Christopher in the Bronx.
Yes, sir. Good evening. How are you?
Good evening. How are you?
Not bad. Yes, Mr. Bernstein. I got approved for the I-130, and I filed the I-1845. How long you think to get my work permit?
The 485 you're talking about.
4185.
You filed a form I-485.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry. Yes.
All right. When did you file it?
I filed it about a month, or I think a month ago.
Well, if you do everything,
2 months ago.
well, if you do everything right, hopefully you filed it in April or May, June, July, by October or November. They're very delayed right now, unfortunately.
Okay.
Right.
So we get an answer by October, you said?
Probably October or November. Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you
Good
very
luck.
much, sir. Enjoy your
Okay.
evening.
My pleasure. All right, so those are our immigration questions. And by the way, if you didn't get a chance to ask me your immigration questions, in about 45 seconds from now, I'm going to scroll through all our comments on Facebook and YouTube. If you leave your question on our comment section on Facebook and YouTube now, I'm most likely to see it, and I will answer it. You could also follow me on Instagram at Real Brad Bernstein. If you follow me on Instagram at Real Brad Bernstein, you will be able to not only see a lot of pictures of Brad Bernstein and like them, you'll also be able to drop me a private DM, and I'll try to answer your question as best as I can there. You could also follow us on Instagram at Brad Show Live. If you follow us at Brad Show Live, you can't handle 45 minutes. Well, it's not 45 minutes, 2 hours of me, but you can handle 45 seconds of me. And you're curious what Jonathan and Vanessa look like because this is the first time you're watching our show? Well, then follow us on Instagram at Brad Show Live, but also come back and watch us tomorrow because Jonathan and Vanessa will definitely be back. And of course, you can also follow us on TikTok at Brad Show Live as well. You follow us on TikTok. Yep, that's me on OnlyFans with my clothes on. If you follow me on TikTok at Brad Show Live, you'll get the best of all of our phone calls and speed rounds, all immigration on TikTok at Brad Show Live. But right now, where's my papers? Let's see what we're doing. In today's Braducation, I talk about 6 things you should never post on social media if you are trying to get a visa or United States residency or you are naturalized. When we come back from Braducation, I'm going to all your comments and questions on YouTube and Facebook. So stay tuned, watch our Braducation. We'll be back in 2 minutes. My goal is straightforward, to make the law usable and easy to understand for everyone. All of us in the United States have equal rights and should have an equal opportunity and a right to justice. I'm here to help because I want everybody to achieve their American dream. I'm Brad Bernstein, and this is your Immigration Braducation. I'm not here to tell you what you want to know. I'm here to tell you what you need to know. U.S. immigration law is complex and the regulations are constantly changing. My objective is to make the law easy for you to understand so that you can use the justice system, know your rights, take advantage of the law, and achieve your American dream. The Department of Homeland Security collects the social media information of not only anyone who is trying to get a visa or United States residency, but even those who are already naturalized United States citizens. From aliases to photos to likes, all of this is collected and stored in your permanent immigration and digital files. So social media posts can be used against you in your immigration case. Now, obviously, the first rule of thumb is to use common sense and think before you post for all the world to see. But some posts that can get you in trouble might really surprise you. Number one, don't post that you're getting a new job. Number two, do not post that you are looking for work in the United States if you do not have work authorization. Three, do not post questions on how to set up a United States company in order to obtain a visa. Four, if you are traveling to the United States on a non-immigrant visa, do not post for immigration lawyer suggestions. Number five, do not post green card questions about getting married. This will raise red flags to the authorities. Six, do not post photographs of yourself which you look like you have multiple girlfriends or boyfriends if you're going into the immigration service for your bona fide marriage interview. Now, a picture is only a moment in time, and who knows who this person is with your arm around them. But if you have no pictures of your spouse, but lots of pictures of you hanging out with other people in a way that can be deemed flirtatious or suspicious, it's very possible the immigration officer will be looking at your social media and asking you questions about this, and then start questioning the validity of your bona fide marriage. All right, we're going to get to social media check-in. It's when I check in to social media. Something's supposed to go across there. There we go. Social media check-in. Where should we start first, Jilly? Jilly's going to go in my ear. YouTube, Facebook. Facebook, YouTube. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. YouTube! Jilly says YouTube. Let's start on YouTube. Let's see what people have to say. Okay, CE user. What is the typical processing time for an N600, and when do you file for a mandamus? N600 takes a while. It's about 10 months. If you haven't gotten anything in 10, 11, 12 months, you file a mandamus. But be certain you qualify for the certificate of citizenship. But yes, if you qualify, 10, 12 months maximum mandamus. CE user, I applied for a U.S. passport and got it, but the State Department is still not. Oh, I already answered that. Return my documents. Now I know why, because they're waiting on the N600 form to be approved. You may want to have a consultation with me. Dosh has a question. Hello, Brad. I filed a U visa in 2016. It's been 60 months. Should I file for the work permit or wait for the new guidelines? Wait for the new guidelines. Hopefully it'll come out very soon. Olga Murillo. What other documents besides a lease can I submit for a marriage-based petition that shows my husband and I live together? Anything in the mail that has your name and an address, your husband's name and an address would indicate that you live together. A joint bank account would indicate you live together, especially if you're putting money into that account. What I always counsel people is you have to prove it's a bona fide marriage. Bona fide marriage is you live together and you have a financial relationship. So living together is photos and anything with your name or your husband's name and an address on it. Driver's licenses. Anything with an address and with your name and his name, even if it's not joint, shows you live together. Joint financial documentation is something different. Having a joint bank account. Having the money you earn and the money your husband earns goes into that joint bank account, and you pay all your bills together out of that. That's a bona fide marriage. Baltazar Radaliga says, is it okay to move before the interview for a green card based on marriage to a new city and state? Yeah, it is, but you got to let immigration know, and then you're starting over in the back again. Let's see. And Beatrice Belazar Hilaire. Hi, I'm a U.S. citizen, and I filed for my husband. My case has been documentarily qualified since October 2020. When do you think my husband's going to get an interview in Haiti? Oh, Haiti. Ay, ay, ay. Haiti's like Pakistan. Forever. It's like a black hole there. Applications go in, but they never get called for anything. I hope soon. If your husband's been documentarily qualified and still doesn't get an interview by October 6th, 2021, call me and we'll see what we can do to help. Sugar K, can I add my husband to Section 8 lease? Our interview's coming up. You can, but then, by the way, Section 8 is a reason to deny you because it's considered a public benefit. So, problems there. TMC, when you file for asylum, how long until they interview you? Now it should be only a few months. If you're filing it now, if you filed it years ago, you're going to be waiting years and years and years. Cami876, if my blood brother wants to open a food truck, and I can cook pretty good, but I can't afford to go to cooking school to get my credentials, I have a marketing associate degree, can he petition me? Well, it has to be an ongoing business. It can't be, I want to open up a food truck. It has to be, I own a food truck and we earn this amount of money and now I need a chef. And the chef, well, is going to be your blood brother. No, he can't sponsor you anyway, because I was about to say you can't sponsor a brother in a job because you're not opening it up to American workers. I was about to say you're going to do a perm in I-140. Eventually you'll get here, but then I just realized he's your blood brother. I forgot that part. You can't sponsor blood brothers in a job. As soon as they find out your brother, case denied. So the answer is no, unfortunately. But if you got a job as a cook in another restaurant that is not your brother, as long as you have you can use experience to do a job sponsorship. Maria Ramirez, how soon can a spouse of a United States citizen file for naturalization? 2 years, 9 months, 3 days after obtaining a green card, provided you're in a bona fide marriage. Kimberlyn Burris, can a spouse who got married to an LPR file for their citizenship 3 years after obtaining a green card, or does the rule apply only for spouses of citizens? Only for spouses of citizens. If you got your green card through a spouse of a resident, you got to wait 5 years. But interestingly, if you got your green card through a spouse of a resident, and then let's say hypothetically your spouse becomes a citizen 1 year after you got your green card, then you can start counting 3 years from the time your spouse became a citizen. You would be able to file at 3 years, 9 months, and 3 days, hypothetically, after your spouse becomes a citizen. So it's not who sponsors you that's the rule. The rule is, do you have a green card? Are you married to a citizen for 2 years, 9 months, and 3 days? While you've had that green card, you can file for citizenship. Felix Uquez, I guess. I've passed my N400 application for the past 6 months. All I see online is we placed in line for oath ceremony. What can I do? Well, if you don't get an oath ceremony in the next few weeks, you can threaten a mandamus. I'm sure you will get one pretty freaking fast. Amen, Sally. J1 hardship waiver with docs does funding and out of status with Department of State funding. I got it now. J1 hardship waiver with Department of State funding and out of status. That's the only way you're going to get through with a hardship waiver, because they're not going to concern themselves about who funded your J1. But you're certainly not going to get a no objection letter approved. AJ with a question: when to expect an I-751 interview if in December 2020? Magic 8 Ball. AJ wants to know what he's getting. His I-751, it was filed in December 2020. Should I give him my best guess? And Magic 8 Ball says, yes, definitely give him your best guess. My best guess is December 2022. Love. When do you have to show that you've been in a bona fide marriage? And you always have to show you're in a bona fide marriage if your spouse is filing for you. You have to do it up front and request a bona fide marriage exemption if your spouse is in proceedings, in removal proceedings. Zohiba Reef, what's the processing time for U visas? Donkey years. If you don't know what donkey years is, ask one of the squatties. They'll tell you what donkey years is. But luckily, Biden just changed the rules, so now you get to be put in deferred enforced departure status. As long as you have a bona fide application, you can get your work permit. Susu, can an undocumented person travel to Florida? Enjoy the Sunshine State. Onimen, how long does it take to approve I-130 for a parent in Nigeria applied in December 2020? That's another black hole consulate. Hopefully they'll get here. If you don't have an I-130 approved by January of 2022, call me. 2022. Yeah, January 2022, call me. I did the math wrong for a second. That would be 13 months. Latoya Williams, if I got my green card through a U.S. citizen divorced due to abuse after 2 years of being married and I have a conditional, is it currently pending removal? Can I file for my citizenship? No, you got to wait the 5 years. JC, in capitals. I'll read it anyway, even if it's not in capitals, but JC's yelling at me. He's asking, hello, can I travel to my country of birth with a green card based on a juvenile? The answer is yes. Let's go to Facebook, see what's going on there. Gowie Maxine. Squat up family, sorry, just checking in. I'm out to dinner. Oh, okay, she's just giving us a whole rundown on her life. I thought that was a question. Let's see what's going on Facebook. Questions on Facebook. Facebook, they just like to watch. Nobody has a question. Where are your questions on Facebook? Everyone likes to watch. Let's see. Joan Ambitious Powell was referencing somebody who wanted to leave. I guess that was the woman who called, whose daughter was filing for her. She was here for 2 months. She's saying, stay here unless it's an extreme urgent. I kind of agree with that assessment, Joan. Let's see. Wow, Facebook, there are a bunch of watchers. Nobody has questions. As I'm going through it, there's a lot of comments. Here we go. Now I'm starting to see them. Jermaine Brown. I was granted asylum. I applied for change of status and was received. I did my biometrics. My question is, what's next and how long? Okay, so if you applied for asylum and not change of status, I guess adjustment of status, you need to withdraw your asylum or you won't get through. Your adjustment's going to be denied, and then wait on your work permit and your green card. Sophie, I'm a permanent resident. I filed for my husband and 2 daughters under 21 last September. How long do you think they're going to approve the case? It's at least 12 months now, I-130s. Sasha Kens. Hi, Brad. Can you file for your mother abroad if you have a green card? No, you have to be a citizen, unfortunately. The day you become a citizen, is the day you can file. Carol Anderson, the Tiger. Who's going to do speed round? Sadly, we don't have a speed round today. I can't ask the question and do it. I'm doing my own speed round right now, but unfortunately there will be no speed round today. Sajka. How long does the USCIS take to decide the I-45 case if the RFE response was received by them? It's supposed to be by regulation 120 days, but sometimes they take more than a year. Mark Henry, I was locked up in 92 and I was deported to my country in 2003. How can I re-enter back? Depends what you were locked up for, but you certainly need a waiver to re-enter the United States, perhaps a waiver for your criminal case. Perhaps you're not eligible for a waiver. I don't know. And those are all the questions on Facebook and on YouTube. Our last question. I know you weren't yelling, JC. I'm only joking with you. And our last question, 29 Super C, laugh out loud, poor Uncle Brad. Where's Yo-Yo and Vanessa? They're in the stratosphere somewhere, but we can't seem to connect to them. They were waiting and ready to go. The connection. Damn it, but tomorrow they'll be here. All right, that's our social media check-in for the day. Let's go to comments of the day. It's getting to be 8 o'clock. Comments of the day. Our first comment of the day is Marcia McCalla. Uncle Brad, we can take what you can give today. Sorry you're alone. We got your back. Thank you, Marcia. Way to go. Everybody was so supportive. I really appreciate it. Our second comment of the day, Dawn Harriet. Now I understand what this filibuster means. Thanks, Uncle Brad. Thank you, Dawn, for watching. And there's one more question here. All right, last question. Post comment of the day question. The last one of the show until tomorrow. The question is from John Adal. My one-year combo card and I want to apply for renewal. My one-year combo card and I want to apply for renewal? Will they call me for fingerprints or are they going to use my old ones? They will use your old ones. You don't need to re-fingerprint again. All right, guys, that was it. Hopefully we got Yo-Yo and Vanessa back tomorrow. I love you all, and have a great Tuesday. And we'll see you all for Hump Day tomorrow. Hopefully we got Vanessa and Yo-Yo back so we can have some fun. Take care. Thanks for watching. So, Sam, as part of the production, we have to say this disclaimer at the end of the show. Do you mind reading it for me?
Okay, but you know, Brad, I have to do everything around here. It's bad enough I've got to remember everything that happened on the episode from the previous day.
Forget it. I'll do it. The proceeding was information only and not specific legal advice. Consult an attorney about your individual situation. Prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. To make an appointment with the Spar and Bernstein law firm located at 225 Broadway in New York City, call 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Easy to remember, 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-LAWLINK. Once again, make a call to 1-800-529-5465. And of course, link up with the law offices of Spar and Bernstein, located at 225 Broadway on the 5th floor. If I were you out there, make the call, make the link, make the connection, make it Spar and Bernstein. 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-529-5465. And now, conveniently located in Hartford, Connecticut on 1 Congress Street. Visit us in Connecticut or in New York at 225 Broadway. That's 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-LAWLINK. 1-800-529-5465.